Okay, Kung Fu Havoc and Instagrammers. James here again. So what we have here is swords. Alright? This is one of the very first swords I ever got. It was a gift. It is like a fencing sword, I guess. It's very thin. I've never been a swordsman, but I own a few swords. I also would say I can use a few swords. Clearly that didn't work out. But you know, the principle is still the same. But this is more of a fencing sword. It's kind of not my speed, but being that it was a gift from a lady who passed away and shall remain nameless, it's a pretty good sword. And yes, see the tip? Still pretty sharp. Now that worked a little bit better. So you have the Chinese sword. This is one of the ancient warrior swords. Now, I acquired it from a store that used to be downtown. It used to sell a lot of Chinese goods. Clearly, not a swordsman. Alright. The tassel has been removed. And for those who know anything about the Chinese sword that I have in my hand, the tassel was to reflect blood from getting into your face when you thrust it into an enemy and yoke it out, or you slice and slice, whichever you choose to do with this sword. This one's a little rusty. I like to be able to find a way to clean it and get the rust off. I'm not a swordsman, so I don't really know how to do any of that. Swords have never been my thing. This is my heavily taped and broken up Sabatu. Not the one that you guys see me with the other day. That's in the car with the lightsaber. But this is one of the first swords when I started practicing like Japanese Aikido that I was taught with. Every sensei will teach you something different. Okay, Kung Fu Havoc and Instagrammers. Yeah, my Instagram. James here again. So what we have here is swords. Alright? Sorry, guys. Okay, if you're on Instagram, you're going to be a little late, because it's still checking the connection. If you're on Kung Fu Havoc 2, this will air when it airs, and I will probably make a video to air this on Facebook. So we're going to be on the final sword now, so I can put these things up. This is my katana. As you guys know, I bought it from Bubba's in Richmond. Bubba's not a martial artist, it's a bar. They had a thrift store sale or whatever. Yes, as you can look at the tip, it's pretty sharp. You know, my alarm's going off. Instagram still not connecting. Alright, so we're going to get off of Instagram. Instagrammers, check me on Kung Fu Havoc 2. Let me get out of Instagram. I'm not going to touch this. Where's Facebook? Yeah, me and technology, we're not friends. Come on, Facebook. Go live. Okay, if you're on Facebook and you're watching, you're late. So you have to go check out the beginning of this on Kung Fu Havoc 2. Facebook just kicked in. Technology, what a bitch. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you're late, and you should probably go check this out on Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I gotta do this before the weather shifts again. The sun came out, so if you've been on Kung Fu Havoc 2, you know I said I'd be outside and I'd do a few things in the sunset. So I was talking about these swords, and as you guys know, I got this from Bubba. I went through these other 4 over here, so again, you have to go check that out on Kung Fu Havoc number 2. For those who are still on Kung Fu Havoc number 2, this is not live, this is being recorded, so you will be able to watch it as soon as it's posted, which also goes to you on Facebook. I am not a swordsman. They're great for those who have been trained in swords. Hello, who just popped up on Facebook? Being Sanchez. Hello, baby. Long time no see. So, this katana, I want to keep it in its best shape as possible. I also don't want to cut off my own arm, so give you a quick demo. Okay, so for all medicinal purposes, this stuff here, yes, you can cut off your own arm, so don't do that in a real fight. So your fighting position, here, here, then your blocks, here, here. It would behoove you to learn fencing before you try to be a swordsman. Alright? I am not a swordsman. I love the katana for the simple fact that ninjas used it. Samurai and shogun all use it. If you're going to fight someone who has a sword and you don't have a sword, there are many ways that you can defend yourself. Nothing beats running away. Okay, just to put that out there. If you don't know your way around a sword, your chances of winning a fight without a sword while your opponent has a sword is slim. It's very slim. So I'm not going to lie to you about that. It's exceptionally slim. So if they're slicing, you're going to have to jump back. If they're thrusting, you're going to have to jump back or sidestep. You're going to have to do something to evade. You don't have to worry about them doing this, though, because it's a good chance that they may cut off their own arm. Now, in the event that they do that, here's their slice attacks. So here, those are attacks. But they also can lead to the sword being held the wrong way, which I'm doing, not purposely. But they can flip it around. There you go. Your slice, your thrust. There's only yay so many ways they can move this heavy-ass thing around. Now this katana has a heavy hilt. Traditional katanas do not have heavy hilts because the blade's pretty heavy as it is. Let me wave at this person. Hey, Courtney. How's it going, brother? If you know anything about swords, you ought to know this hilt is longer than the traditional hilt. Most traditional hilts are two-handed, or like as you can see here, this is really bad. This hilt is exceptionally long, so this isn't a traditional katana. I would say, if anything, it was more like a Highlander movie prop katana. No, still looks cool as fuck though. Waving to that person who just came on. When you're dealing with katanas, you know, there's so much that you need to learn before you engage in battle with the katana. So much. First thing you need to understand is, this bitch has also got range, but at the end of this hilt, there's a very sharp blade that has been known to maim people. Okay? It doesn't look like it does in the movies where there's like one quick slice and it's done. Now, what leads to that in actual combat is how good your opponent's defenses is. So if their defenses is fucking awesome, you're going to have a big problem. So boom, boom, you know. And if you're slicing and they're slicing and they block, you know, it's going to go on and on. Now, the thing about that is, if you're fighting anybody with a weapon in your hand, this is the one thing the sensei should teach you that I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. So before I get the flack, fuck it. You're paying me to teach you. I'm going to teach your ass how to stay alive. If someone's coming at you this way, do not do the movie ninja catch. This shit right there, don't do that. You're going to lose thumbs or fingers. Don't believe that shit. You have to get really lucky with that, okay? So your real catching, you're going to catch your opponent at the wrist. As dangerous as it may be, you're going to have to step up and catch them at the wrist. And catch them either at the hilt or at the wrist. Because if you don't, X-nay on your ass, your ass is gone. Because if you miss this, and you don't catch this wrist, and you catch nothing but blade, yeah, your shit's done, buddy. It's really quite simple. These things are killing machines. They're not toys. And when you see this in the movies, okay, two things you got to get straight. One, they're props. Props are dangerous. They're not as dangerous as some things, but props are dangerous. Props can really hurt you. So a lot of the times when you see them in Guardians of the Earth, we used plastic, futuristic swords that you would never ever see in real life. Where, you know, if you're in the Highlander, they actually use real swords, but they're dull and they're trimmed down to a point where you get the shine and you get the cling, but you don't get the danger of getting hurt. Technically, that's right, but let's keep this in reality. Shit happens, you know, and these things, when they come down and they clash, if something goes wrong and this thing breaks, you know, everybody in the set's like doing one of these numbers. So you want to be real careful with any kind of sword when making a film, you know, because anything can go wrong when you're dealing with steel. Now, if you have a traditional swordsman on set and they've built this bitch from scratch, it's more than likely someone's going to get fracked up real bad if they don't know what they're doing. So when you're filming, please use props. Also, if you got to film a sword fight and it's got to be spectacular, get some training, work that shit out 1,000 times before you even get the camera up. Because cameras will catch things that you didn't mean for them to catch. And cameras will be used against you in a court of law. So you really don't want to do anything exceptionally stupid with your katana. Okay? Now, if you're in a fight, you just mind your business, you're walking down the street and somebody comes along and you have your katana, you know, that'd be a pretty good attack. The problem is, here's reality. You might not get the chance to pull this bitch out. So your sheath better be a point strong enough to take the hit. Now, if they got theirs out already and bing, you gotta learn your blocks. Boom, boom. So it's just like having a bow staff. None of that though. But now you know you can do that. Now I tell people, how you train is how you fight. So if you're going to train hard, don't train hard with swords because there's no telling what will happen. The floor of gravity is not always on your side. And if you have a sword that does not say made in China, you may have a problem. Because I've known people who have bought swords just like this one. They probably didn't get it from Bubba's. But they bought swords like that I just put down. And they've been practicing and their blade's over there, hilts in their hand. I had another katana with a dragon handle and a skull. It was badass. It clearly was not made in China. The handle was basically plastic. And I swung it to teach my nephews a lesson of not to be around me when I'm breaking weapons. The damn blade came out, and luckily nobody was hurt. So you have to monitor your weapons. Wherever you get your weapons from, you have to inspect them. You have to inspect them greatly. You might want to make sure that they're clean. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but right in there, if you guys can see that, China. Okay? That's so the camera can see it. Right there, China. So, you definitely want to check your weapons so that if you're going to practice with them, you got to get your money's worth. Now here's my thing, so I can end this video and post it. I'm not a swordsman. I'm a martial artist first, and my very first martial art weapon, the only weapon that really means anything that counts, is this one here. Because your mind is the ultimate weapon. Your mind operates the body, transfers to the fist, transfers your power, transfers your punch, transfers your kick. These are just extensions of your training. If you're trained properly, you won't even have to use them unless you come up against an ace. Now, you come up against an ace, you better know something. And if you can't beat them, then you have to find a different technique of beating them. Do not fight their fight. Fight your own fight. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc #2 and Facebook. And I shall return to Kung Fu Havoc #2. Facebook, I'm going to make a different video without weapons. Thank you guys very much. And miss you much, Bing Sanchez. I don't know why this damn thing isn't working. I do know why. It's human error. Me and technology are not friends.